and wasted. If you're feeding livestock, so much land has gone into feeding livestock, it's a huge waste. And reduction of livestock on ploughable land. I mean, so much land in this country is used for livestock that could be used for other things. It could be growing other things. It could be growing timber, which we need. It could be growing fibre, which we need. It could be growing hemp, which we need. There's a whole range of crops out there which could be grown, which are not, because they're taken up by livestock. So there's a lot of land which actually is fit for ploughing, which is not being ploughed. And then avoiding cereal-based livestock systems. So if we're going to do anything at all, we have to start somewhere. So we start with reducing how much cereals animals are fed, because at the moment, like I say, almost 70% of all UK cereals go into livestock production. It's a huge waste of land. It's a massive waste of land. Feeding pig and poultry and dairy. I didn't put dairy, but pig, poultry and dairy are the huge consumers of cereal-based products. They get through a huge amount. For every pint of milk which is produced, the area of, I can't remember the figures now, but the area of land needed to grow the cereal is vast. It's like the size of this room or something. It takes a lot of energy to grow these animal products, and that energy is tied up in land and arable crops. Reinstate forest production. As a nation, we have only around, I think it's 12% of our land is forested. It's actually more than it's ever been for quite a long time, but it's still nothing like enough. We need to really up our game in terms of forest reinstatement, because we are really short of forest in the UK. And the work that we're doing on our farm in terms of how much land would we need to support the farm in fertility if we were using wood chip, for example, kind of looks like we might have to perhaps have 20% of our land in trees. We've already got 10% in, because that's hedges and coppice land. We need to put another 10%, which is quite doable. We can do that quite easily. In fact, there's even grants to do it. We could even get some money to plant some more trees. So it is possible to reinstate forest production. But the concept, the way people think at the moment is that forestry is a separate business from farming. It's not. Forestry is part of agriculture. It should be part of agriculture. So we need to integrate forestry with farming and not keep it as a separate unit. And then, if there is grazing left, and I cannot be as naive as to think that everyone's going to give up meat anyway. There's always going to be people eating meat. There'll always be a demand for meat. You cannot ever get away from that. Then there has to be an extensive grazing which involves woodland, because it needs to be forest-based, and some arable land as well. I mean, you have to accept that not everyone's going to give up meat straight away. And then there's the possibility of hill land, which can be, hill land can grow crops. The difficulty with hill land is harvesting things. You can grow trees on any slope, even if the soil is only, that deep. You can still grow trees. You can grow good harvestable nut trees and a whole range of different food-grown trees. The difficulty is harvesting, because you cannot mechanize it. It's too complex to mechanize. So it depends on hand labor, which is expensive. And there's the possibility of using livestock as an aid for management in pastures and forestry conservation, because livestock do have very specific uses. I mean, we say our farm is stock-free, but we have deer running through, we have badgers running through, we have foxes running through, we have rabbits running around. We have a whole lot of livestock already there, and they are part and parcel of the landscape of the country. And then there's the rewilding of uplands and non-farm areas, and I know this is controversial. A lot of people have quite strong opinions about whether this should or should not be done. When you start talking to farmers about reintroducing wolves, they throw their hands up in horror. And reinstate people to the land, because there's really just not enough people on the land. The land is short of people, and the problem really is that the wages are too low.
Thank you for listening, and thanks also to the Vegan Organic Network, who invited me down to record the session at VegFest. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you next Tuesday.